So my intervention will be rather short, as I can see that the time is also pretty tight, and a lot of people are also very tired by now, because I believe you guys started already early this morning. Indeed, my intervention will be about the relevance of ecocide for future generations. And, to be honest, I had to do a little bit of research as to what transhumanism actually means, and also, go deeper in depth into what AI means for the future of our children and the people of this planet. Now, there is an analogy that I can draw from AI and law itself, you see. So AI or machine learning looks at history or data to infer new rules of which to apply in new situations in the future. So AI taking, huge data sets, applying it to something to create, let's say, a precedent. So similar to the law is man-made as well, and it looks at history, to infer new rules, and judges will apply to create precedents that can be used in future cases. Now, taking off from what Jojo has mentioned, this whole principle of do no harm, that ecocide law is about preventing. It is about, shifting that moral paradigm, making sure that we have the law in place to prevent, wrongdoings from happening in the future. It really is not about putting people in the dock, but for the sake of future generations, we know that they are growing up with a tablet in hand and their smartphones. It's an extension of their being. It is inevitable that they are subject to, let's say, surveillance. Let's say the giving of data without them even knowing, conscious or not, without them being better informed about how their data and how their patterns on the iPads are being used by major companies. So again, drawing this analogy between AI and the law itself, there's the human element that I think AI is also trying to incorporate. That's why there's this whole discussion on the ethics and the moral of, transhumanism and the use of technology. I think for the relevance of future generations, it is important that they understand this will be an inevitable part of their lives in the future, but knowing that them as consumers, they have the right to know, they have the right to have certain laws in place to make sure that, certain things are not taken away from them and used and abused by the companies. We all know that companies are all more often than not going after profits, and they will say, yes, we have our own corporate social responsibility. But to be honest, the law is slow moving. It's moving at a glacial pace compared to the evolution of technology these days. And the way I look at it with ecocide law, we need to have that in place. And, with conferences like this, where, experts educate the public and other experts about, certain gaps and things and challenges available, it's good to create that awareness. It's good that future generations know that they have the power to also demand that certain preventative measures, safeguards are put in place, whether it be at the national, regional, or international level. Of course, ecocide law is ultimately an international campaign, but whatever we can achieve also at the national and regional level, that will be already a very big win for us. So future generations who are interested in ecocide law, it is a future crime. It's a missing crime, and there are many missing rules and laws out there, also on AI and transhumanism and whatnot. This is the future, but for the future to happen, they need to also think ahead. They need to think 5 steps. They need to think 10 steps ahead of what it means to be a bionic person in the future. And what about definition? Ecocide is very much about the definition. The law is very much about the definition. So what if a person is bionic in the future? The limbs are bionic. Does that make this person a person according to the law? Is this person subject to protection by the law? It's very much, the same as the environment. The environment is not seen as a victim here. And ecocide law makes sure that the environment can also be seen as a victim, as part of humanity, as part of something that requires protection in the first place. So there were many, many, many words that I underlined in my research for this symposium itself. And, it's ridiculous how I can try. It's about instant gratification, in the future. It's about future generations' monkey mind also, but they need to be grounded in what companies and governments can do behind their back. I mean, there's the reason there are loopholes that are being abused right now. And it is understanding those loopholes that will make sure that, campaigns like Stop Ecocide are there to put in place safeguards to protect them in the future. It is about, again, it's about predicting what will happen in the future. And at the pace that technology is progressing, and the law and the pace at which the law is progressing, we kind of need to chase the sort of like the speed and be up to par and be knowledgeable and be aware, just predict everything that could go wrong and that could be great for humanity. Yes, a lot of AI and data sets like satellite technology, that those are being used in court right now, but even that much progress still needs to happen before even satellite images can be admitted in court as evidence. You would think that all these IPCC reports on graphs and all these reds and ambers and greens, all the fires that are happening on the worldwide map, you would think that this can be used in a court of law. Not yet. Not even the ICC. The ICC is using this in the context of the crimes that are under their jurisdiction. But in the future, with the crime of ecocide, we will work together with experts who will be able to generate these types of evidence, these AI generated, machine learned, I don't know, this generated data to be used in a court of law. But again, it's all about understanding the gaps and putting in place safeguards. That's it for my intervention, and I definitely look forward to some of the questions.